You want to say hey? Oh, wow. Hey.
This is June.
Hey, June.
June.
Are you vegan?
Yeah.
Are you a lifelong vegan?
Yeah.
Do you love being vegan?
Yeah.
I know. I mean, good. Yeah. Could you imagine not being vegan?
No.
I know. That'd be rough. Did you have your shirt on? She had a shirt on earlier. Your eating animals is creepy shirt. Yeah. You want anything to say about being vegan?
You want
It's
others?
amazing.
Nice. Do you want others to go vegan?
Yeah.
How come?
It's great.
What is it?
It's great.
It's great. Okay.
Didn't you say some of your friends were turning vegan because you're a vegan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted to.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome. And do you do it for the animals?
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. You do good at school? You smart?
Yeah.
Are you strong? Are you a strong vegan?
Yeah, you play soccer. That's what you do.
Cool. Uh-oh, somebody else is coming.
Oh, hi. She hasn't even seen all this.
Yeah. Oh, I should get a like a behind scene. I always forget the behind scenes
Yeah.
stuff.
Hey, Drew. Drew, do you like being vegan? Do you like being vegan, Drew?
I don't want you to talk to me.
All right, I won't talk to you. Does it make you nervous? It makes me nervous.
Well, you're doing excellent.
Lights and cameras. Oh, gosh, thanks.
Yeah. So you're a vegan from birth, right?
Yeah.
Do you like being vegan?
Yeah.
Do you think you might want to be vegan your whole life?
Yeah.
Do you do it for the animals?
Yeah.
And do you feel like you're strong and smart?
Yeah.
Cool. And do you feel like there's like advantages to it?
What's your experience with your peers and friends at school? Are they receptive of you, like, or kind of accepting of you being vegan?
Yeah,
They probably
they
don't
don't
even
really
talk
care.
about it. I know, they don't even talk about it.
They don't care.
No, they don't care.
So it's easy, huh?
To me at least.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks so much for sharing. That's awesome.
Funny.
Okay.
My name is Katie Robinson. I am a mother of 3 lifelong vegan children. I own a vegan bakery. I have been vegan since 2010. The reason I went vegan, I just don't feel like we need to eat animals. I don't feel like I don't want animals to suffer. I want to live a compassionate life. Don't feel it's necessary.
Now, how did you come to this conclusion all of a sudden?
I grew up in Michigan with a dad who was a hunter. My whole family was hunters. And I will say it did help me feel a lot more empathy towards animals when it's something, when you see animals get shot, when you see them and how they are processed and it's happening, in your garage at home. So I never really enjoyed eating meat. I think as a child, it was something I just did because my parents did and I was told to. And I think as I got older, I started connecting and see the suffering that they had gone through.
You did it later in life.
Yes.
How did this suddenly come to you later in life?
So I think a lot of what happened, especially when I was, kind of off, went to college on my own, moved away, it became more of an ignorance is bliss situation. I would eat animals, but I wouldn't prepare them. I would want them prepared for me. I didn't see the connection as much. As I got older, I started to understand and encounter other people who are vegetarian, encounter other people who are vegan, learn more about factory farms and how they work. Something that was very instrumental to me becoming completely vegan was trying to have kids. When I found out the process of how we get cow's milk, never knew it as a kid, never knew it most of my adult teenage life. And then I was having struggles with trying to have kids on my own. I felt a real connection to that and animals being, babies being taken away, being inseminated, kind of using a woman. I really felt like I can't do this, I can't contribute to this, especially having struggles, having children on my own as a person, as a human. I really empathized with a cow. So that was kind of the last thing. I think for a while I drank cow's milk. Never was a big cheese eater, didn't really eat eggs, but the milk was the one thing I hung on to. And then when I was having my own struggles, I just quit cow's milk. So
When did you actually go vegetarian?
it would have been like 2006. Yes. Yes.
All right, and you did that because you were influenced by others around you that were kind of this way as well.
And I was on my own in college and did not want to prepare flesh. I did not want to make animal flesh on my own. And I think I finally realized, like, oh, wow, I don't need to eat this. Why do I continue to eat it just because it's been made for me? I'll just stop eating meat. So that's when I quit meat. Yeah.
You didn't think, oh, well, I need to eat.
No. I think that was like the nice thing, right? Like on my own in college, realizing that this wasn't something I needed to have in my diet, but it was something very much a part of my diet growing up in the house I grew up in. I never questioned it.
Do you remember, like, as a child, seeing animals, like you said, in the garage being cleaned and all? Do you remember feelings you had around that, maybe that were seeds you think later in life?
The smell. I still think of that. Like I think about rotting flesh and that smell. I do think that that definitely shaped, like seeing that and almost seeing how numb other people were to it, but I still had an effect as a child seeing it. Really still blows my mind today. I definitely think that had a big influence.
Did your parents ever talk to you about it?
No, it's just normal. It's just normal here. You know, when you kind of live in rural areas of Michigan, it's just a very normal way to. And often, too, what sucks is that most of the animals, it's just done for sport. Some is done for food, but, you know, a lot are killed and not all of it is eaten or, you know, so.
Yeah. So then you're in college and you basically don't want to cook this and you're like, hey, I don't need to, I'm going to stop. And what on earth did you eat instead?
I ate a lot of pasta, like most college students, right? Like I ate a lot of noodles. I also at the time moved to Pittsburgh, and it was I had an easy time eating there. There was a lot of vegan restaurants, a lot of people I knew. Freegan, that was the time of the Freegan that I don't think really exists anymore, but
Is that like when you dumpster dive?
yeah. So like my husband, when I met him, was a Freegan. He would live a vegan lifestyle unless it was being wasted, unless food was being thrown out, unless, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wow.
Then that's the time you kind of break the rule. But
Wait, so you met your husband in college?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And you were vegetarian, and you didn't go vegan until later, right?
Yes. Yep. So he was vegetarian, or he was vegan, I was vegetarian, lived that way for a little bit, and then I finally got to the point. I also at the time was in culinary school. At the end of my college career, I went to culinary school. I was vegetarian, very hard to be in that world as a vegetarian. You have to eat a lot of what you make. So I was baking was my main thing I focused on, and that was my degree. So I was eating what I was baking, and if it had milk or eggs, that would be okay. I was trying it. And then I kind of shifted to making cakes. I wasn't eating the food anymore. He was vegan. I was kind of sick of making 2 meals. I wasn't eating that much anyways. I think I'd gotten down to like milk, maybe some eggs if I was trying something at work. And it was an easy shift for me. Never was a big cheese eater. I know that's a lot of one people hold on to, but that I just never.
Yeah, and so then you're trying to have children.
Yes.
And that's not working. What was going on there? Did the doctor make any suggestions or anything like that?
Yeah, it was pretty standard struggles. I have some hormonal issues. It was an easy fix in the end. I tried for years, went to a doctor, got a different one. She was like, get some acupuncture, take a vacation. And lo and behold, I got pregnant. She gave me like a low dose hormone and then I got pregnant really quick.
Okay, interesting. But you'd already been vegan at that point.
I was already vegan. Okay. Yep. Wow. I did go raw vegan for a while to try to do like a reset. I thought maybe my body, to kind of aid with that. So that could have been it too. I think it was a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting. There's been several that had difficulties getting pregnant, goes vegan, and then, like, I had one literally, for years, doctors were saying, you need to do this, that, and the other. They said she was never going to have children.
Wow.
And finally, she read somewhere that going vegan might help, or plant-based, and sure enough, she's had 3 kids. The first one, it was like, though this is a fluke, they might actually, have issues. And nope. And now they're in like 20s. Did you ever think that going vegan would help? I mean, you said raw, right? Did you see something
Yes.
did you read something somewhere, or was it just an idea
I
you
thought
had?
I needed like a body reset. That was my thing. I was like, maybe there's something that I just kind of need to reset my body.
Like intuitively or something you thought?
Yeah, and so I thought like doing kind of like a detox would be a good way to do it. I don't really know. I don't know. I think, ultimately my real opinion is I think that switching doctors and going to someone who's a little more holistic in their approach is what made it work for me. I went from a very kind of old school, traditional doctor to someone who was a woman who was a little more holistic and was like, try these things, see if it works. I think they all helped, you know.
Yeah. And now, did a doctor ever tell you to eat animals?
No. You know what? This is where I've been so lucky when it comes to fertility, when it comes to, and most of them would say go vegan, especially my second fertility doctor who was more holistic would be like, focus on more whole foods, like she had a different approach. I've been very lucky. I live and gave birth in a progressive city, a small progressive city. So I think I've never had a pushback. Our pediatrician's vegetarian. One was vegan for a long time, is now a vegetarian. So I think that I've been very lucky and have not. I get more pushback from peers, family. Those are but I say in the medical world, I mean, no one can knock that it's a better diet. So it's a better lifestyle. So I have not had a lot of pushback.
If you were to kind of just use your imagination and think about what other people are doing who aren't vegan, having children, do you feel like this is much different when it comes to being pregnant and going through infancy, breastfeeding and all that? Do you feel like you have to do things profoundly different?
No. If you would have talked to me in 2010, I think it would have been different. What's kind of mind-blowing now is that I feel like we're the easiest in the group. When it comes to my kids, like I've been very fortunate. I 100% believe it's because of the way we live. They do not get sick a lot. They've always grown. They've always on the charts are doing beautifully. And I've been very fortunate. And I think that's a lot to do with what we eat. Nothing's really different. We don't have allergies that we have to worry about. There's other people that have so many other major things. Like my kids aren't going to get sick at school if they eat something that has eggs in it. I'm very fortunate in that way. So I think because of that, not much has changed. There's a few things they can't have, but there's often with other kids, there's many more things they can't have. So I just in today's day and age, it's the same.
Yeah,
it's
wow.
the same.
So then did you breastfeed all three?
I did. Yep, I breastfed all three. Well, my last, she did do formula for a month or two towards the end. Okay. Third one, I was a little more tired by the end of that one. So
how long about all of them?
Progressively got shorter. First one was like 2 years. Second one we hit a year, and then the third one is like 9 months. Okay. And I was like, we're done. But again, first one, like soy formula, you couldn't even find, and so he was born in 2013. It was hard. There was like one, right? Like now there's multiple choices. And it was very easy with my third when I knew I wanted to stop breastfeeding. She just had soy formula for a few months. Right. No big deal. So.
And you could probably find that, I guess, organic and stuff, right?
Yeah, you can find it on the grocery store, Whole Foods.
Transitioning into solid foods, was that easy, and what kind of solid foods?
Super easy. That was another thing where, in the beginning, right, like first 6 months, there's no dairy, right? Like, so that at pretty much all of the kids, anyone that was a parent that I was friends with or had babies the same age, everyone was on a vegan diet, like introducing those solid foods, they're all eating vegetables. Something I did think it was important was that they try a lot of different foods. So we did that, but I'm also a big component of like them eating what we eat. So nothing changed. Like they ate hummus, they ate beans, they ate oats. It was a very easy transition. When it came to a year and we talked about cow's milk, we just gave them almond milk. And then we alternated it because our pediatrician recommended that, like always trying different things. So like do almond milk, do coconut milk, like kind of alternate the milks because they all have pros and cons. So we did that, and we're an almond milk family because that's what I started with. it was easy. Everything has been easy with them in a great way. So there was never a time when there was something they couldn't have, and I think because I was really a stickler on them trying a lot of different foods. But they are also kids. Again, my youngest, she would eat vegan chicken nuggets all day if she could. But we also give them other things. With 3 kids owning a business, I do rely on convenience foods when needed. And it's great that there's so many options of that. But I also think it's really important to eat tofu and beans. And that's what I was brought up with when I was in 2010 as a vegan. We love soy curls, like kind of those older staples. We still eat those. We're not so dependent on processed foods, but they're great to have. They're fun. They're fun. They're easy.
As long as you don't get too carried away.
I know. I do, part of me loves them and hates them. I love that they're an option for people. I love that they're our gateway, right? They're the gateway to get other people to eat these things they're so used to having. But with any processed diet, if you rely on that, it's not going to be good for you. So,
You've been very successful at having 3 children vegan from conception.
Yeah.
And originally you did this all for ethical reasons, not even for health reasons.
No.
Now, do you find that it's the healthiest way to raise your children?
I think that you cannot deny, one of the things I love about being vegan, the health and the climate, those are amazing bonuses that I get because I don't eat animals and I don't contribute to that. I don't think you can deny that they are real. It is a better diet. My kids eating that way, I think will only be better for them in the end. I don't see any downside, literally 0. I know you've got to watch for certain things. We do that. Our pediatrician's really big on making sure they're getting tested for iron. We watch B12, but those are just minor things that anyone in any diet should be watching. I feel again, with a standard diet, you'd have to be watching cholesterol. You'd have to be watching those. With this diet, we watch these things. But I think they eat wonderful, especially you see what a lot of kids eat, and it's hard, and I get it. But I think they eat great. Yeah, no matter what you're eating, there's always, too much of a one thing, right? You can't rely on that.
Yeah, no matter how you're raising your children, you want to be mindful, right?
Yes, exactly. So, and I don't think again, in today's age, there's nothing I can't get. We can take supplements, we can eat certain ways, eat certain foods, and it's very easy.
Yeah, I mean, really the only thing would be like you said, B12.
Yep.
And some might argue D, but you get that from the sun. And actually, you could take mushrooms and put them in the sun, and they'll get D. But B12 is what's interesting about that. I like to interject always when somebody brings it up.
Yeah,
is that the animals are being supplemented with it.
I know. Okay, so that was another thing I forgot about that helped me on my path to veganism. Was I heard a talk with Colleen Patrick Goudreau, who was a vegan baker. I think she has a podcast now. She did a talk at a local veg fest, and she was like, why eat the fish? You're trying to get, they're eating the seaweed, and that's what you're getting. Why eat the cow when they're given these things? And it was a very just matter of fact, it's not the animals, it's what they're being fed. It's what they're eating. That's those nutrients we're getting. And I was like, oh, that's true. Yeah. I don't need to eat these things. Yeah. So that was a big part. Her talk was a big thing.
Yeah, they don't need to be a vessel for these nutrients. You can go direct.
You can go direct, 100%. And, yeah.
And knowing that it's the most protective way to reduce risk of chronic disease later on in life, doesn't that seem like this should be the default way of raising
Yes.
children?
Yes. I mean, again, I don't know what the argument is the other way. Yeah. I don't know what you would say to convince me. Because all I really hear from most people is but what are they going to eat at a birthday party? Yeah. What, they're not going to be able to eat the cake. They're going to go to school, and it's these concerns that aren't even real and I think projected. We don't have issues. Again, it's fine. There's 5 kids in class that can't eat dairy. There's 6 that can't have gluten. There's always something
that we need to be considerate of.
Yes. Yeah. Most people ask. They're so great now. They're like, oh, what are they going to eat? What do they need? Oh, I know June's coming. Can we get her something for the party? Or we just know we've been doing this for a long time. we're not going to be able to eat everywhere. Yeah. It's not a big deal.
And since you're conveniently capable of creating a cake to bring, do you ever do that?
All the time.
Okay.
Here's a cupcake. Take it to the party. Yeah. You know, like, I also am pretty, because we've been vegan for so long, I think I'm pretty gentle. I don't police. I know they're going to go to school. They might consume something. All I can do is teach them what I believe is right, what I believe is true, and give them those tools.
Do you talk to them about the ethics?
I do.
Okay, and maybe that helps them when they're in those situations?
I know. Well, it's funny. My son, he would never, he looks at every ingredient label. When they're so young, it's hard. I think that's what you got to realize. Going to daycare, my kids didn't have daycare, like preschool. Preschool was tough, right? Like, because they're in with a bunch of kids. The teachers might not even know what vegan means. And I got to do my best and put them in a place and trust the people that they're around and that they're going to do the right thing. But I think it can be really hard to be really you can't watch them at all times. Yeah. So you have to do your best and tell them that this is why we eat this way. I do get really pissed. I've gotten probably 3 dairy propaganda workbooks that they give to the schools. It blows my mind. I have written to principals. They went to a fairground that was like a cattle auction as like a field trip. But again, we're in a rural area, like this is just what they know.
One thing that I've noticed when talking to vegan mothers who have been successful with raising their children this way, and the children maintain it throughout adulthood. When the children were like, say, 7 or 8 or somewhere around in there, they want to be more independent. Did you do anything to help to encourage their independence? How might those conversations work or anything like that?
I want them to be independent and think how they want to think. But I also am I think it's important that they know the facts. Yeah. Or there's a reality. I think I've always been this way parenting. Like, let's be realistic. Like this cow in your book is the same cow that's on the table. I think it's a very unhealthy connection that a lot of children have with animals when they are young. My kids love animals, and they recognize that cow is the same one people are eating and would never do that. Right. I think they have such a connection to animals now, which is beautiful. No one has strayed. No one has pushed the boundaries. When they were young, if they didn't know, but never on purpose, because they just have a real understanding of like, I don't eat animals. Why would I eat an animal? Like that. And I love that. And it's a very like matter-of-factly black and white, why would I eat this thing? Yeah. And I was even on a field trip with June, and she's telling her friends, oh, I'm vegan, we don't eat animals. And they're like, I don't want to eat animals either. I'm just going to be vegan now. And I love that. I'm like, it's so innocent, right? Like they don't have all this
accumulated
just like
desensitization.
Yes. They were like, I don't want to eat animals. So I think that's really a beautiful thing. It's everyone thinks it's cool. They think it's great. She would never eat an animal, like it's just a really nice, it's a beautiful thing.
So in school, like you feel like their peers are accepting and there's no challenges there that have been like, oh, I'm kind of regretting this ever, right?
So I will say, like a month ago.
I mean, every kid's going to have challenges.
I know. So a month ago, somebody threw meat at my daughter and said, you touched dead animal now. But she's a badass. And I was like, well, what happened? What did you do? She's like, I just didn't sit by him anymore. And I was like, great. She wasn't upset. She was like, that's so messed up.
That's pretty severe bullying, I think.
I know. It's a problem. Wow. So that would be it. Okay, it's like a very severe issue, but that would be it. And she handled it very well and didn't waver. So I love that, but.
Did you reward her for being so awesome?
No, she's awesome.
You're like.
She is. She's the coolest kid.
She rewards herself.
Yeah, no, like I think I'm happy she dealt with it the way she did. I think it's super messed up. That's it. That's all I can really, I can never, because I've been in a lot of situations with them at parties and things. And again, it's just one of the many things that some kid can't have or do or eat or, like most kids are really picky. Mm-hmm. My kids aren't. And I think that's just because we've introduced them to so much food, so much different food than the typical, kind of stuff that is given every day.
Do you have to like sneak stuff in like greens into their smoothies ever, or do they like kale and stuff like that?
No, they eat salads. I don't think I feel like we're this like, we don't eat the most whole food, amazing diet, but we're kind of a step above, I think, because by eating vegan, we still eat a lot of whole foods and beans and things. Vegetables, as they get older, there's certain ones they like, certain ones they don't like. They're not big on greens. They do love smoothies and fruit. Any kid is like just naturally drawn to fruit. So that's like a great staple in their diet.
Legumes, you mentioned. Not a lot of grains, even though there's a lot of great grains.
They don't eat a lot of greens.
Oh, greens.
Grains they eat a ton of.
Yeah, okay. So
Right.
legumes, grains,
Yeah.
some greens,
Some greens. Because they are still kids. They are still kids.
and then like fruits and veggies. What kind of veggies?
Broccoli, cauliflower. My one daughter loves raw veggies, not cooked veggies. But she'll eat any raw vegetable. Fine. Carrots. I mean, they eat anything. My son will try anything. He's great. Might not eat it again, but he'll try it. So she put hot sauce on it. I think the hardest one's been my youngest. Because I think, again, as a parent, I'm just more tired now. I got more stuff going on. I lean into convenience foods a little more. And I think she's been introduced to more of that. So I think, in turn, it's gotten a little more picky.
They do say like the oldest is the most responsible, the middle is the most wild, and the youngest is the most spoiled. So is that true?
She gets the ice cream. She gets all the stuff. It's so true. Oh, that's so true.
That's funny.
Wow, that's very true. So I think she's just been harder. And I think that's mainly because of our life. It's just not, owning a business now and having a third kid added another layer. And it's easy to lean into the convenient stuff sometimes. So,
So we covered legumes, greens, grains, fruits, veggies, mushrooms,
kind of.
nuts and seeds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love nuts. Love seeds. I'm just trying to think of stuff they don't eat.
Well, I mean, that's covering all the categories.
Yeah,
there.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they eat it all.
Awesome. And then you mentioned seaweed, of course.
They love seaweed.
Yeah, and that's a good source of
sushi.
iodine. So
Yeah.
that's, when I interviewed like Brenda Davis or somebody like that, who's a registered dietitian, she did mention iodine. I guess, did they take a supplement?
There's a vegan supplement, a gummy that they kind of take sometimes. Again, we've had no issues with them, and they've even been tested. They get tested a little more than a typical kid. We cook on cast iron. That's a big way we get iron into our diet. We love nutritional yeast. There's been no
Red flags or anything?
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Awesome. Your husband, is he also like an ethical vegan?
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
I guess he doesn't think, you need meat to be macho then, right?
No. This is where it's like he grew up in Pittsburgh and it was just a different lifestyle. No, it's not as connected as it was here in Michigan. He just decided one day at Thanksgiving to go vegan. He's like, after this meal, I'm never going to eat meat again.
Yeah.
And that was his end to animals. Yeah.
Do you think you could ever be with somebody who's not a vegan?
No, I could not. No. Oh my God, are you kidding me? That would be so hard. Especially not my house. Like, that would be a really hard thing. I just met a couple that he's vegan with living, but when he goes out, he'll like eat a burger. Yeah, I mean, never say never, but that also I feel like would be a really hard thing to sustain.
How are their grades doing?
Good. They're super smart, all of them.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's great. Yeah, there's no, and even most of my family has come around to it. Again, I think what's changing now a lot is the climate in like the older generation is finally being told like, you're going to die faster if you keep eating meat, right? Like, you have to start eating plant-based. So I feel like even as owning a bakery, a lot of the people that come to me are older because they have gone vegan later in life. So I think now, even
It's fine. As long as you don't mind her being in the background.
I think now, even people in my family who, when I was having them young, when they were young and babies who were just vehemently like against me feeding them a vegan diet are now, oh, I found this cool vegan thing at the store. Like I grabbed it for them, like, or I'll go to the vegan restaurant now, where I wasn't getting that when they were young. So I feel like we are on a great trajectory in terms of veganism. I have hope.
It's a pivotal part of history right here, I feel like.
100%. I think a lot of people are getting discouraged because like it was like a big few years ago, right? Like the Beyond Burger, like all these things were like, oh my God, it's changing the world. And now it seems like a lot of companies are losing money, or you're reading these headlines where like restaurants are taking away vegan options, or vegan restaurants are closing. But I just feel like...
Well, that's every business is suffering. Ever since COVID, every business has been
Oh, that's so true. And I also, like, it really hit me, the twin study, when they said, like, doctors used to tell us to smoke, right? And now we're seeing the same things in meat that are in cigarettes. Like, oh my God. So the future might be, like, eat this thing and you will die. And I do think people will start, because nobody smokes anymore. It's not around here. Like nobody smokes.
It's more taboo,
Way more taboo, because we know now what it's doing, and it's a real thing. I think meat will be the same way. So I feel like the future is great. I feel like the future is vegan. I feel like it's not gonna happen overnight. We're gonna take our time and get there. I do think we have to like lean off the processed foods and lean into whole foods, but I also love that it's there for people to try it, and there for me as a working mom. So if I need something like quick for dinner tonight, great, I'll grab some nuggets. It's a great thing. But
do you
I don't
ever
want to
bulk
live
cook?
That. Do I what?
Bulk cook, like so you have stuff for quick later?
No,
It might be a little next level when you have more time to figure out.
Like when people meal prep and stuff, love it. I love that. I love that for other people. I work in a kitchen, so I am like most chefs, they don't want to cook. I am like that. Like I'm in the kitchen all day. So I go for quick, but you know what's really quick? Rice and beans. Throw some veggies on, like super quick. You know?
You can just open a can of chickpeas or black beans or whatever, rinse them off and throw them on a romaine lettuce, put some tahini.
Or like make this great lettuce, but here's a bottle of dressing I can grab. I think that's fine. Or make a great salad and grab a quick dressing. So I feel like I'm a very simple, I want things simple, I want things quick. I don't need to open a bag from the freezer. Those are the nights when I really don't want to cook. But otherwise, like 30-minute meals, something super fast and it's done. Pasta, great, easy. Throw a ton of veggies in it. I don't love to cook, but...
But you do.
But I do.
For
I should love
a living.
to bake. I'm in a kitchen. I'm in a kitchen all day, so when I come home, I don't want to spend more time in the kitchen often.
So as far as family, was that really difficult at times in the beginning, like you kind of alluded to?
Yes. Oh my God, I was like in tears. It was so hard, especially when Miles is my oldest. When I was pregnant with him, after going through like struggling for years to get pregnant, I get pregnant. Then it's like that first kid, and it's like, oh my God, it's the unknown, right? Like you don't know. There's a fear that is new you never had before. There's a responsibility you never had before, and then you have people in your life telling you, you can't feed your kid this way. Like they're gonna suffer. Like they're not gonna. It's not healthy. How are they going to get all the questions, right? Where's the protein coming from? All those things. So, and these are people that you look up to, like, my family that always, they're wiser than me. They know more. They had kids, right? Like they know. So I struggled a lot. I think what really helped was my pediatrician. Him telling me, like, no, your kids don't need to eat that. Like, no, you're fine. Your kids are growing fine. They're like, look at the charts. Everything is good. Like, this is your evidence. Like, you're fine. But as a parent, as someone who wasn't a parent before, it was terrifying. And I thought I was going to, like, mess them up. I was like, this is going to mess them up for the rest of their life, because that's what my family's saying. Yeah. But the main concern was cake. The main concern was, but what are they going to eat at a birthday party? Like, and then you start to realize too. And then what's great luckily I've been very blessed that all my children have been healthy and have grown and done wonderful. That's the proof, right? Like, here it is. I have 3 children who don't get sick very often, have grown just how they're supposed to.
They're beautiful.
I know. Yeah. And like there's no wants, there's no needs. They are happy. We went to the Veg Fest on Sunday. They were so excited about vegan food. Everything here is vegan. This is amazing. They don't feel like they're missing out. It's been fine. At Halloween, it's great. Like, whenever we go trick-or-treating with a bunch of kids, they all dump out their things and they trade the vegan candies. And it's great because all the other kids want chocolate and they'll eat all the Swedish fish, So it's like, it's fine. We also have normalized it in a way where they're not missing out on anything, It's just how it is. It's what they know.
Awesome. Your extended family, have any of them maybe gone vegan at all, or
no?
Or friends? What about, do you have any success with friends or anybody like that yet?
Vegan because of me?
Yeah. Vegan because of me.
I know.
Or maybe a little bit more moving that way.
I think that yes, I think there are some people in my family who have accepted it more, or will like try that piece of tofu now. They're like, oh, I like that thing I had it last time. I'll try it. And I do think that is, we go to restaurants, they see our food, and then they'll try it or something. More at the bakery, more at work. Because that is people, like, that's where, like, I started that to get, so people could try food and realize that, like, it doesn't need to have dairy, it doesn't need to have eggs, it doesn't need meat to taste good. And I think I get more people like, oh my God, I can't believe this is vegan. Like, I could eat this all the time. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing.
Tell us about your bakery, and how can we find out more about that? Is that you got a website and all, I imagine?
I do have a website, botanicalbakeshop.com. That was started because I was traditionally trained. I worked at a bakery that was very traditional for most of my career. Then started doing wedding cakes. But as a vegan, it was really hard for me to find baked goods that weren't just full of sugar and tasted very artificial to me. And I'm simple in a lot of ways, and I just wanted simple baked goods. So I kind of took my vegan knowledge and my baking knowledge, put them together, and started Botanical Bakeshop, and I love it. And
Is that something somebody can order stuff online from?
No, I know. There's no shipping. I do wholesale and custom.
Okay.
If you're in Ann Arbor, Michigan, or Ypsilanti, Michigan, you can find my stuff there.
How far do you travel? Do you cover your events just around this area?
Yeah, mainly around this area. I still do wedding cakes because I started it. I wanted to get back into pastries, kind of. Just to do something else. I'd been doing wedding cakes for a long time. And then I was surprised at how many people started asking me for vegan wedding cakes.
Any resources you want to share that maybe were helpful?
Honestly, I will say the best thing was finding a pediatrician I trusted. That was like, I read maybe one or two books. There was nothing out. There's probably so much more now, but there was just not a lot available to me in 2013 about raising kids vegan. So you kind of had to do it yourself. And I also had to really lean into people that I knew studied it and knew more than I did even, So I think finding a doctor, finding one, he was vegetarian, he was not vegan, but that could guide me and was supportive and I trusted. It's like priceless.
How did you find this person?
I interviewed pediatricians.
I mean, did you Google
Oh gosh, that's a great question. How did I find him?
Because I would imagine you might be able to through the American College of Lifestyle Medicine or Plantrition Project maybe, or somebody like that.
I know, I don't remember how I found him. And then I met with three. There were three that I met. Two were vegetarian, and I just, that one I liked the most.
Yeah,
so.
Cool. Is there anything we didn't hit that you want to get out there real quick? Or any last-minute encouraging words?
Yeah, a lot of people might be telling you that this is not the right thing to do. A lot of people were telling me it wasn't the right thing to do. I think just trusting in yourself, knowing that it's going to be fine, finding doctors you trust. It's such a peace of mind in the end. So stick with your guns. I think you also have to, be strict, but also loosen up a little bit.
Oh, we got the last one here.
It's Miles. Hey, bud. Do you have any? He is my I feel like you're my diehard vegan. You're gonna be vegan forever, right?
Yeah.
I know. You want to say hi to the camera?
Hi.
How old are you?
10.
And you're a lifelong vegan, right? Are you?
I've definitely had egg before.
Oh,
but-
by accident?
Yeah, by accident.
Oh, I was gonna say when did you have it?
When
Yes.
was that?
I bet at some birthday parties.
Oh, okay.
Surprise.
Yeah, I think some people don't know what vegan means sometimes.
Did you know it was egg when you were eating it or afterwards?
You can usually tell.
Sometimes, not all the time.
Did you want to eat it?
Not most likely.
No. No. So beyond that, but I mean, vegan doesn't mean, you're still vegan if you had an accident. Like, it doesn't mean you're not vegan, right?
Yeah. No one's gonna take away your vegan card. That's what we say. So I don't know. I trust in yourself.
Yeah.
Stick to your guns. It's hard. Having kids is hard.
Oh, there's the shirt.
Ah, nice, Jim.
You can come in front here and show us real quick.
She got that yesterday.
Oh, wow, okay.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Love it.
What does it say? Let me see. Eating animals is creepy. Yeah. Wow.
Miles got a sticker that said, "Only zombies eat their friends."
Aw.
So I also like that one.
There's like a quote like that people take from Frank Zappa. You remember Frank Zappa?
Yeah.
And it's they twist his words into saying, one day everybody will be vegan except for a few weirdos.
Love it. I think that is so true.
Yeah.
I do think that, like I said, I look at the smoking analogy. Like, think of how many less people are smoking.
Yeah.
I do think we will be that way. And it keeps getting easier and easier. I never wouldn't imagine owning a vegan bakery. I never thought that would be a thing. I did think I was going to, I didn't doubt my kids. I don't know.
What do you think's holding people back the most?
That's a good question.
Just not knowing.
I think not knowing. I think most people are shocked, right, when they find out spaghetti is vegan. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I never knew, right? Like, I never knew spaghetti was vegan.
Yeah.
I never knew peanut butter and jelly was vegan. So I think it's that, or you tell people Oreos are vegan, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe Oreos are. I'm eating something vegan. I get this all the time, and I'm like, yeah. Think of all the things. Think of how unlimiting it is. But I think people, what they don't know, they find it very limiting. That was hard going to culinary school because they're like, I don't even know what to make you. And I'm like, wow, you really need to expand your mind a little bit if you really can't figure out what to make.
And it's interesting you mentioned culinary school because I've interviewed some chefs and I'm like, do you feel like it's broadened your horizons and helped you develop a more sophisticated palate or limited you in any way?
No, I feel like, oh my God, it's broadened. It gives you so many more options, right? Like I can make cheese from cashews. I don't need to, I'm not just limited to cheese, Isn't that cool?
Yeah, because it forces you to think outside the box, right?
Right, I know. I think there was that restaurant in New York. He talks a lot about that. Did it win James Beard? He's a great, he's been a great resource just, I think, for chefs of being like, oh, nacho, thanks.
Even the cat's like, what is that light?
But he talks a lot about, we really had to look beyond our norms, what we were, and it really made us realize how much more there is out there, and plants that react similarly to gelatin, and it's such a cool thing, a cool thing to experiment with, and so yeah, I feel like when we're just taught this one way, I think that's what holds people back. They just think, but what am I going to eat? Yeah. And then they don't realize how much of their daily diet is vegan, right? So I think that they don't know.
That's funny, when somebody says...
Hold on, Junie.
When somebody says, I can never eat vegan, and you never had an apple?
I know. And I also think we are so used to kind of shit food. Just what's kind of fed to us in restaurants, processed food. You get so used to those flavors, and it's hard to eat other things, and it's tough. So I'm really excited that they have been introduced to a lot young, because I wasn't as a kid, you know.
And so they, develop an acquired taste for these things.
Yeah, and then to eat other stuff seems like, oh, this is gross, or even I'm like, oh, that's a little too sweet now, or your taste really changed.
Yeah, because all tastes are acquired except for human breast milk. So why not learn to love something that loves you back?
Right, that's so true.
That's cool.
But I don't I even think about my mom she was a single mom. She divorced young, and she just made what was easy, which it tends to be a lot of processed foods, and my palate only changed when I left and I went vegan and started eating more foods. So.
Well, you're doing amazing. Thanks so much for your time and letting me come into your home and explore your mind and life and everything. And,
Thank you.
And bringing your whole beautiful family into the equation.
yeah.
Except for your husband. I don't know where
I know. He's probably going to be home any minute.
Okay, cool. Well, I better cut. And,
Okay, cool.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.